Hello everyone, welcome to this video where we are given that each apple contains 10 milligrams of vitamin C and each pear contains 7.5 milligrams of vitamin C. David eats X number of apples and Y number of pears and he obtained 60 milligrams of vitamin C from these fruits that he had eaten. Form an equation connecting X and Y. So, since I know the total amount of vitamin C, that will be the indication, okay? We have the total amount here. We have X number of apples, and apples is one apple is 10 milligram. X number of apple? Yes, 10 times X. And I'm going to add the amount of vitamin C from pear. And from pear, there's Y number of pear. Each pear has 7.5 milligrams of vitamin C. Yes, 7.5 times Y number of pear. That will be the amount of vitamin C from pear. And in total, they give me 60 milligram. And that's the equation done. For part B, all right, draw the graph of this equation. Now, for part B, it will be very useful for us since they did not give us a table of values, and that's where we will need to do it. So for part B, even before I start to draw the graph, right, I will first do some algebraic manipulation. I'm going to minus 10x on both sides of this equation. That will give me 7.5y equals to negative 10x and positive 60. And of course, I'm going to divide by 7.5 throughout. And that will give me, when I divide by 7.5 throughout the equation, this will give me negative 4 over 3x. And this will give me positive 8. And this is important because I'm going to now have a table of values. And since I know this is going to be a straight line graph, I will just need around 3 values. And how do I choose the numbers? Well, I'm going to choose easy numbers like when x is equals to 0, negative 4 over 3 times 0 plus 8, that will give me 8. I'm going to choose 3 because I know that when I multiply by negative 4 over 3, I will get a whole number. And this will give me 4. And I'm also going to choose 6 because 6 times negative 4 over 3 will also give me a whole number. And this will give me 8. Now, with this table of value, then it is very easy for me to complete and draw this particular graph where I have my x is 0, y is 8 here. When x is 3, y is 4, which is here. When x is 6, y is 0 here. And then connecting these 3 large points, it will give me a line, a straight line. And do write out the equation. It can be the original form or it can be in the form of y equals to mx plus c. Oops, there's a typo here. And we have completed part B. Now, for part C, let's look at the question. Oh, the question says to ask us to find the gradient of the graph, which is pretty straightforward if we know that given in this form here, this happens to be my gradient. And if you don't already know, this happens to be my y-intercept. So I could easily solve for part C and part D fairly neatly. So for part C, the answer is gradient equals to -4/3. And for part D, the y-intercept is equals to 8. And the meaning, where does this y-intercept occur? And I hope you can see that this y-intercept occur at the point where x, which is the number of apple, equals to 0. So the interpretation is simply David actually eat 8 pear and 0 apples in order for him to obtain the 60 milligram of vitamin C. And if the number of apples and pear that David eats are whole number, find the possible numbers. So this one actually can just look at the graph and we can easily find the answer to this. Of course, we already know this part here can. This also can. This means that x is 6 apples, 0 pear. This is also another possible. And actually these 3 are the possible answers. So from here, this is one possible answer. Another possible answer will be 0 apples, 8 pear, or 6 apples, 0 pear. With that, we have come to the end of this video. So if you like this video, do give it a thumbs up. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.